So I have all of my materials out here, so I'm just going to kind of briefly go over them, and then we'll go over the size, and then we'll get to making the card. So let's see. I can't really put this somewhere where you can still see it, so I'll set it aside for now. The colors we're going to use for ink are Melon Mambo from the Brights and the Archival Stamp Pad in Basic Black. We are using the amazing Flower Patch set. I can't tell you guys how much I love this set, and you've seen me use it many, many times. Hi Donna, thanks for joining today. You've seen me use this set so many times. My favorite flowers are this one here, and then I like to layer this one on top. I just think that that makes such a stinking cute embellishment. It is adorable. All right, so we're using, like I said, this one and this one from the stamp set, and we're also doing a birthday card. So here is the Happy Blooming Birthday from the same set. And we will be cutting out the embellishment with the coordinating framelits. These are the Flower Fair framelits. So we're using this guy here and this guy here. And then a couple of extra things I have my Wink of Stella. I like to color in the flower to give it a little bit of shimmeriness. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's super cute. I love it. And I have some Jewels Basic Rhinestones here for the center of my flower. Got my paper piercer, my bone folder, and the adhesives I'm going to use today are the Fast Fuse, the mini glue dots, and I have some dimensionals here. As you can see, I don't spare any dimensionals. I use every single little bit that I can. They're fantastic. And then we're using the Pop of Pink Designer Series paper. So let's get going here, so I can find a place to put this real quick. All right, so I've pre-cut most all of my pieces here. So what you're going to need is a scrap of Whisper White, big enough for you to cut out your 2 flowers from the Flower Fair. I already stamped and cut these out, so those are all ready to go. Save a little bit of time. And then I did a 1/2 inch dot. Let me see if I can pull. That might help a little bit. I did a 1/2 inch dot out of the basic black cardstock, and that's just going to layer behind our flower to give us just a little bit more pop of color. I really like how that looks, so that's what that's for. Now your DSP, Designer Series paper, this is a piece that measures 3 inches by 11 inches. And this piece here is a little smaller. It measures 1 inch by 6 inches. And we have a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock, which measures 4, let's see, is that right? 4 by 5 1/4. Yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have just a regular 1/2 sheet of basic black cardstock. This is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4 in the middle. So we're going to start with the scoring on our DSP here. So I'm going to get this out of the way so that I have enough room to bring in my score pal. Now in Linda's video, she actually did this using her trimmer, which you could do just fine, but when I did my card, I felt like the score lines were just a tiny bit crooked, so I wasn't getting as square as I had hoped it would be. So we're going to use the score pal to try this, and we'll see if it makes any difference here. So the scores that you're going to need, there's quite a few. So we're going to do 1 1/2, 2, 3, 3 1/2, 4 1/2, 5, 6, 6 1/2, 7 1/2, 8, 9, and the last one at 9 1/2. So like I said, there are quite a few score lines on here, but that's okay. So now what we're going to do is we want to mark the middle of our sheet here so that we can cut a diagonal out of it, and that's what's going to give us this diagonal pleat right here, and we're going to do that to each side of the paper. So we want to measure 1.5, and I just put a tiny little score line right on the paper there so that when I put it into my trimmer, I know where I'm cutting. So we're going to flip it around and do the same on this side, 1.5. And we want to cut from the 1.5 mark here to the 5. So I'm going to see if I can, let me grab a pencil actually and do a little mark here. So I want to cut this from 1.5 to 5, so I'm just going to do a little pencil mark there. And then on the other side, I want to cut from the 1.5 mark here to the 6. So here's the 6. So 5 and 6, and then we're just going to trim them off like that. So let me bring in my trimmer now. All right. So my little 1.5 inch mark is right where that black triangle is. So I'm going to line that up with the cutting track on my cutter, and then I'm going to find my 5 inch, and I'm going to line that up with the track as well. And then I'm just going to zip it off. And then you're going to do the same with the other side. Line up the 1.5 and the 6. And there we go. And so I have tiny little pencil marks still showing. I don't know if they're going to show when I fold it, but I'm just going to kind of try and erase those a little bit. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining. You know, you are the one that requested to see a fancy fold card today. And even though this isn't technically a fancy fold, it does have a lot of folding in it. So I really, I was searching on Pinterest for something that I could do, and I just really, really like this. I had never made one before, so I wanted to try this. Next week, I'll do another video on an actual fancy fold card. All right, so now we are going to start folding this. And depending on what design you want on the top, I want my triangles, for instance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this back, see, like this, okay? And then on the 1/2 inch, I'm going to fold inward, okay? So the 1 inch fold back, the 1/2 inch fold in. And you can see already it starts making those cute little pleats. And fold back and fold in. And I know that this is my middle because I have my straight line here, and this is the diagonal there. So I'm going to switch and undo the same thing. The 1 inch line goes back, this one goes in, back, and in. And when you're folding, try to make sure that you have a very even line up here. That will help to keep your pleat straight as possible. So now I'm going to bring in my bone folder and just reinforce those creases and try to keep it as straight as possible. Okay, maybe it'll work better on that side too. Do a couple. There. All right, so there is our fun double pleat. So now what we're going to do is take our piece of Melon Mambo cardstock, and I'm gonna bring this back in so I don't glue up my desk again. I'm going to try to line this up with the grid lines on my paper so that I can try to get it as even as possible. And I'm going to run my fast fuse right over the top of that, just like that. So now I'll pick this up, bring in my card, and I want to line the bottom up with the bottom of my card, and I want to try and center it as much as possible. Okay. And it'll go over the edges, which is totally fine because we're just going to wrap it around. Okay. So now I will turn it over, put some fast fuse on here. I love fast fuse, you guys. I think I like it better than snail, and that's really saying something because snail is my favorite. So we're just going to glue that right around the back like so. There we go. And now I have my 1-inch accent piece, and I'm actually going to use the opposite side, which is this fun stripe. If I were to do this in the black stripe, it might be a little too much. I don't know. Could have tried it before. But I'm just going to glue that right on top, and then I'm going to tuck these edges behind. So again, some more fast fuse. And I'm just kind of centering it. I'm using the lines on the DSP. So there's a line right here in the middle, and I'm just lining that up with my pleat. And I'm doing about halfway, so you can see here that I have it about half on the pleat and half off the pleat. Okay, so now we're going to just make sure we have a little bit more fast fuse on the ends here. Oop. And then those get wrapped around as well. Just like that. So there we are so far, looking cute. All right, now I'm going to assemble my embellishment. So I have my 2 little guys that are all ready to go here that I stamped with Melon Mambo. So this one I stamped full ink, and this one I stamped off, and then I stamped my paper, so it's half ink. Hi, Abigail. Where do you get fast fuse? That is my, this is a Stampin' Up! Product. It is available in the catalog. So you can go to melissascreations.stampinup.net, click on Shop Now, and it'll take you to the store. And Fast Fuse is right back here. And you get, you purchase the whole thing, which already comes with 13 yards, and that's $10 plus shipping, and then a refill. So you just pop this open and you take this cartridge out and you can redo that, put a new one back in, and the refills have 21 yards, and those are $7.50 for the refills. They are amazing. I love the Fast Fuse so much. All right, so back to our embellishment. We're going to take some glue dots, mini glue dots here, and paper piercer. We're going to put one on the back of our little flower and attach him to the little black, the 1/2-inch black circle we cut out or punched. And then we'll do another glue dot, put it on the back of that, layer him right on top. And now we're going to grab some Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to color in the petals to give them a little bit of shimmeriness. And I know you guys are probably thinking, wow, she does that on almost all of her projects. This is crazy. But it's just so much fun, and it's gorgeous and pretty and shimmery. I love it. So beautiful. And to add even more bling, we're going to put a rhinestone. We're going to take one of the large ones and pop that right in the middle there. Doesn't that flower, I don't know about you guys, but pink is one of my favorite colors, and I just think that that flower is amazing. It is so pretty. I could make those all day and not get bored, seriously. All right, so now we're going to take a dimensional, and these are just lovely pop dot things. We're going to put one right in the middle of this flower here. We're going to put our flower right off to the side like this. I'm going to tilt it a little. Okay. And now we are ready for our sentiment. So we're going to take our archival black pad. And I have my saying already mounted here. Happy blooming birthday. So let's ink that up. I'm going to put it right up here. Beautiful. And now I am ready to put it onto my black card base. So here's my bone folder, and I'm just going to reinforce that crease. And more Fast Fuse. I love this stuff, you guys. So you just, sometimes you got to roll it a little bit. and it's very light pressure with a tick mark up, and then the next one you do a tick mark down, and that helps keep the glue in the middle roller there. So some at the top, some at the bottom, little here, there, and there. And this stuff is super strong. It is awesome for 3D projects. It is very durable. And then we're just going to center this onto our card base, like so. And woohoo! We have a beautiful double pleat technique card made from Stampin' Up's products, Pop of Pink Designer Series paper with the cute flower patch stamp set, and the Flower Fair framelits is what I use to cut these guys out. Fish for dinner, Tammy? No fish? Oh, come on, you're by the river. You should be having, like, fish or something. So what is for dinner? Spaghetti? Oh, they have fish, huh? Oh, well, I wish I was there. Right now, it is super rainy and overcast outside. So anyway, I really encourage you guys to give this a try. You can rewatch the video after the live feed is over, and you can get all the dimensions and measurements and everything. Again, I cased this, copy and stamp everything, or copy and share everything. I'm not quite sure. There's a couple different ways people say it, but I really encourage you to give this a try. I got this inspiration idea from Linda Bowen at stampingwithlinda.com. If you wanted to visit my site, you can go to melissascreations.stampinup.net. You can also see me on Facebook, which is how you're watching this video now, and you can message me anytime if you have any questions or need some product help or ideas. I am here for you guys. So thanks so much for joining, and I will see you guys soon.